You know how last time I talked about how you probably couldn't point the finger at the plaintiff? Well, today I'm going to talk about how you can get around that on my product liability tips for the defense. I'm Trisha Baxter, and I'm all about helping companies and lawyers efficiently navigate the world of litigation so that they gain clarity, make better business decisions, and ultimately stop wasting unnecessary time and money. Now, my last vlog focused on the difficulty in pointing the finger at the plaintiff, at least in the same way you would in a negligence action. But there are multiple ways to get around it. So maybe you can't outwardly come out and say it was plaintiff's fault, but you can tell that story in a different way. Now, I know the plaintiff's bar is going to disagree with me on this, but the vast majority of product liability accidents that I see, the plaintiff's conduct had something to do with it, meaning they were doing something wrong, they were doing something they shouldn't have, and they got hurt. And as a defendant, that's important for your story. How do you get that in front of a jury? Now, fundamentally, that starts with knowing the case law in your jurisdiction. And I know that sounds rather simple, but you'd be surprised how many young lawyers I come across handling product liability cases that don't know the elements, the tests, or the factors that go into play for determining whether a product is defective. For example, one way for plaintiffs to prove defect in Pennsylvania is through the risk utility test, which is essentially a balancing act between the design of the product, its utility, and usefulness. Now, there are a lot of factors that go into that test, but one specifically on point to our discussion today is the user's ability to avoid the danger. Could plaintiff have done something different that would have avoided the accident? And you get into that. You will ask those type of questions in plaintiff's deposition, and you will give that transcript to your expert, who will then comment on the user's ability to avoid the danger. It's a way to backdoor conduct into a lawsuit that you may not otherwise get to advance. So maybe you don't get to come outright and say the plaintiff caused the accident, but you get to tell that story to a jury, and juries aren't stupid. They know exactly where you're going and exactly what you're saying. Are you looking to close claims or files? Well, then follow me for weekly tips on how to get that done.